Today, I'm going to be talking about what makes Fear such a good game. One of the coolest things about it is it's very creepy. It's a very creepy game with lots of creepy moments. And it's pretty rare for a FPS game to be as creepy as Fear is. And it's really, really awesome. It's one of those games that's perfect for playing at night, alone, with headphones on in the middle of the dark. Nothing beats it, man. I mean, check this out.
There's something in the water. Ring! Come on, make her push!
On top of that, it's an extremely atmospheric game. You really get immersed into the atmosphere. And I don't know what it is about early 2000s games, but most of them are just extremely atmospheric. I don't know if it was the game engines they used back then, or the textures, or what, but it really seems like games today have lost a lot of atmosphere. Another thing that's really cool about it is it runs very well on newer hardware. Like pretty much all old games from the 2000s run extremely well on newer hardware. You get really high frame rates, and that really adds to the immersion. Plus, on top of that, it also runs really well on older setups too. Like, you don't need a top-of-the-line computer to run it. You can run it on a 10-year-old or even older computer. You can run it on a 15-year-old computer if you wanted to, if you need to. It's really awesome. Another thing that makes this game such a good game is the voice acting.
This wacko's name is Paxton Fettle. He's the key. If we contain him, we contain the situation.
Fucker's got an appetite.
I think he has an agenda. It's not just recreational.
The voice acting's pretty dang good. Very unique voice actors, very good voices, and also really good sound effects as well. The bullet time mechanic is absolutely badass and super satisfying to use. You're always looking for the next reflex booster to try to get your bullet time level higher so you can be in bullet time longer. There's nothing cooler than looking for those yellow lights for the reflex boosters. Makes you feel good when you see a bright glowing yellow light and you know it's reflex booster. And you're always keeping an eye out for health boosters as well. Another one of the really cool mechanics in this game is destructible concrete, walls, and objects, and tiles. It really gives the bullets feeling of impact, and it's really enjoyable to experience and mess around with. And on top of that, there's lots of physics objects in the game that go flying if you hit them with bullets and stuff like that. This game also has really decent lighting and shadows, and a really good flashlight, especially for back then. And I love games that have a manual flashlight you can turn on and off. And yeah, FPS games should always have a manual flashlight. I really hate it when the flashlight isn't a manual flashlight, like it automatically comes on and off. That always really pissed me off. Another one of the really good aspects to this game is the really decent and brutal and good gore. The blood and gore effects are pretty dang good in this game. It really sprays a big red mist when you hit someone with a bullet, and it's cool to see in bullet time. It's really awesome to slow it down and see all the blood splatter and everything all over the walls. It's really awesome. I think it's really realistic what it would really be like too, so that's a plus. This game has a pretty dang similar feeling to that of Half-Life 2. Like if you like Half-Life 2 and you wanted something that's a little darker and a little spookier and with bullet time mechanics, I mean, you'll like this game. It's very similar feeling to Half-Life 2. There's no gravity gun, of course, and it's a lot darker and more spooky, but it's a really, really good atmosphere and mechanics and physics. Really reminds me of Half-Life 2. The enemies are extremely fun to battle. They actually like try to flank you and try to take cover. They're scripted pretty dang well. They'll flip over chairs and tables to try to take cover behind, and it's pretty cool. Not too many games do that. Another plus this game has is has a manual quick save, so you can quick save whenever you want. I think every game should have quick save, unless there's a specific reason why it shouldn't have quick save, but quick save is one of my favorite ways to play games because honestly I do use it a lot. Fear also has some really cool weapons, like the particle weapon, and it has a weapon called the HV penetrator, which is basically a nail gun, and it's really cool because it like spikes enemies against the wall that they're standing. Like it'll pin them against the wall. It's pretty cool. Really neat mechanic. And also has a repeating cannon, which is pretty cool, but I never really used it all that much, but it's really cool when you use it mixed with bullet time. One of the couple of the cons of Fear are I felt the story is a bit weak. But it's still a pretty good story, but it's not like an amazing story. I mean, you can tell the story was kind of just meant to be there. Like this was more of just like a play FPS and get freaked out, and the story's kind of a secondary thing. But the gameplay's so good that that's not really that big of a deal. The gameplay is very satisfying and very fun to mess around with. Another thing that I didn't like so much is some moments force you to walk slowly, and they're not that often, but I just hate when games do that, when they force you to walk slow. But to be honest, it's only a couple times, so it's not that big of a deal, so that can be overlooked. Overall, I love Fear, and Fear 1 is definitely the best Fear out of all the Fear games. I think Fear 2 kind of dipped a little bit, and Fear 3 definitely dipped a little bit. But that being said, I really liked Fear 3. A lot of people shit on Fear 3 and say it just sucks completely. It's a pretty good game. It's just not that great of a Fear game. It's more action-y, like Call of Duty or something. So it's a lot less spooky and a lot less gritty feeling, a lot less atmosphere. But it is fun. It has really good bullet mechanics, and it still has bullet time, so that's pretty cool. The enemies are pretty decent in Fear 3, but Fear 1 is definitely the GOAT. It's one of the greatest FPS games. It's definitely like the best horror FPS game there is. I can't even think of one that even comes close to Fear 1. So yeah, it's cool. If you can, I definitely recommend picking it up and playing it. I know you can get it on GOG. You can buy just Fear 1 on GOG. You can get it on Steam, but it's kind of lame because you have to buy it in a complete pack. Like it's the Fear pack with Fear 1, 2, and 3, so it's like $50. But if you go on GOG and get it, it's like 10 or something like that. So it's a lot better to get it on GOG. And if you do get it for PC, I recommend installing a patch. There's like a frame rate patch that you have to install. And Yeah, I'll try to leave a link to that frame rate patch, but it definitely makes the game run a lot smoother, and it's definitely worth it to take a second to install that. The game's still great on PS3 and Xbox 360, so you can play it that way too if you want. But I think the best way to play it is on PC because you can just get a decent frame rate. I'm running at, you know, 100 plus FPS, so it's just really smooth, really good overall experience. So, yeah, just thought I would share what I thought about Fear for a few minutes and show you a little bit of the gameplay. And hopefully, if I've convinced a couple people to check out Fear that didn't know about it before. So, it's pretty much my only goal here. So, thanks for watching my video, and hopefully, I can make another one soon. Later.
Oh, perfect. You again.